I am live. My first actual live, everyone. I hope you all can hear me. Yeah, this is my first live. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I want to welcome everyone. I'm really glad you are here. I wanted to go live today because, man, 2026 is right around the corner. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Sorry, I have my notes here and you guys are right there. So it's going to be interesting. My first live. I've been posting on YouTube in quite a while. Hi, Dr. Ninja Turtle. My first live. Can you believe it? You motivated me to go live. So here I am. Thank you for the feedback. Yes, I'm glad you guys can hear me. How are you doing, Dr. Ninja Turtle? So I've been following him for, my gosh, I think almost a year, really getting a lot of inspiration and motivation, specifically about money as I try to work on paying down debt myself. My gosh, 2026 is going to be a big year. I've been reflecting on 2026 and I'm rethinking a lot of things about my own personal approach to building wealth, to side hustling, and I think that I am also rethinking, very importantly for myself, what success means. And I think that that's going to be my theme for 2026, right? I have been driven by my ambition, by the need to succeed for a very long time. And I think there was something about, I know I, I'm ready for 2026, but at the same time, I am like, I don't know. I feel like 2026 is going to be a year that will challenge all of us. I feel like the way we used to do things is going to have to change. The way we used to think about things is going to have to change. Absolutely, absolutely. I messaged Dr. Ninja Turtle. On I messaged you on Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, yeah, so let's connect for sure. I'm looking forward to us getting together to discuss real estate. It's definitely I've been going through it. I don't know what your 2026 was like. I feel like my 2025 was like. 2025 for me was a challenging real estate year. I mean, I was really tried in every single way for 2025. So I'm actually, I don't know how. I think you may be at a different place, Dr. Ninja. But I for 2026, I'm taking a step back. I am taking a step back from everything. I'm taking a step back from hustling. I'm taking a step back from real estate. I'm taking a step back even from the intensity that I was like, because 2025, I put a lot of effort into my YouTube channel, making a lot of videos, seeing if the channel was going to grow, seeing if the channel was going to grow. And I found myself seeing a lot of really good things happen, but at the same time, I was reminded about the importance of taking a step back, the importance of slowing down, the importance of focus, but focusing while also not with the intensity that I have before. I've always been somebody who's super focused, but yeah, 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 please do. Because I think I added my email to my on my YouTube channel, if you click on my About Me, you should be able to see my email as well. Yeah, I just didn't want to post it um, for everybody so that I won't be bombarded with spam. I already get a lot of spam right now. So that's the only reason I haven't been putting it in the chats. Yep, I agree. Same here. I am not going to be buying real estate, honestly, not for the next 2 years. What, like, I'm pretty good at not accumulating unnecessary debt. All of my debt, and I followed you, Dr. Ninja, and I know that it's the same thing with you. It's like you get out of debt, then you build up some savings, and you buy another property, and before you know it, you get into more debt. And unfortunately, yeah, you should be able to easily find um my email under my About Me page, Dr. Ninja Turtle, and I'll be looking out for it. I'm looking forward to us connecting. So every time, I would get out of debt, I would save up some money, then I will buy a property. I don't have, okay. Then I will buy a property, and before you know it, boom, I'm back in debt. So, and last year, by the way, for those of you guys who may not know, I started a new YouTube channel that's a vlogging channel and a lifestyle channel. So about 2 years ago, I was enjoying life in Los Angeles, and I decided to move from the city life of Los Angeles into a 24 acres farm in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. So I'm kind of sharing the journey of how I am taking this property that I bought and converting it into a homestead. And that is kind of going to be key for my 2026 strategy. You see, I'm thinking differently about having an emergency fund, right? And I'm building instead an emergency plan. For a very long time, I kind of got stuck into the framework that you need an emergency fund, right? So that means that you need a certain amount of money in the bank to cover all of your expenses. So if your expenses are $5,000, you build your $5,000 a month, you build your emergency fund to, 6 months, that would be what, $30,000 a month. And for me, being somebody who used real estate as kind of like my lever, I was really having a lot of anxiety because in my mindset, I was like, man, I don't have cash in the bank because I'm paying down debt. That means that I don't have an emergency. Like if something happens to me, I'm in a bad place. So the past few months, I really was going through a lot of anxiety because of that. I'm like, what happens if something was to happen to me? If something was to happen to my job? Then I really started contemplating this notion of emergency plan. And when I was thinking about it, so I'm gonna kind of stew on this for a little bit because this is gonna be a critical part of a mental mindset that I'm making and a critical part of the mental mindset I want you guys to make as well. So an emergency fund is good, but it's fundamentally incomplete. What you really need is an emergency plan that is comprehensive and includes an emergency fund. Does that make sense? Right? A lot of advice is that, right, you need to collect your 6 months of expenses. However, if your 6 months of expenses includes a $3,000 mortgage, a $500 car payment, 500 to now, sometimes for some people, even $1,000 worth of groceries every month, you're quickly going to run out of money if something was to happen to that one source of income that you have, right? And I'm realizing one thing that I've never really agreed with the concept of an emergency fund, which is probably why I never really took it seriously. But what I always believed in was building an ecosystem, right? A comprehensive emergency plan that included multiple different streams of incomes, multiple different skill sets, etc. So I'm kind of going to go through my emergency plan that I've built over the period of about honestly 10 years. And this I've actually, as I was contemplating and thinking through this, I realized that, Mandy, you may have debt, but you're not in as bad a shape as you think you are because you've been building this emergency plan since you were in college, since you were in high school, since you were in college. So let me share a little bit about my comprehensive emergency plan. At the base of it, if you are looking at your real estate budget, your top line item for almost all of us, the first line item we have is housing. Okay. Most of us, if we're spending $5,000, 30 to 40% of that is housing. Okay. And usually it's a mortgage and rent. Because of the purchase that I made 2 years ago, I bought a 24 acres property that has two homes on it. One of the home is beautiful, is pristine. That is where I'm living right now. However, when I started thinking about it, and I was like, why am I living in the pretty house, right? I could easily move into the smaller house that needs work and find a way to monetize the bigger house. So right there, that is not part of my emergency plan. I'm currently in the process of moving into that mobile home. And if you go into my travel vlog, we'll leave the link to the travel, to the lifestyle, my vlog channel below. You will see me renovate this mobile home. The house came with a mobile home that smelled, y'all. This mobile home, I mean, first glance, it smelled bad. It looked really in bad shape. And I have never really lived in a mobile home before. So in my head, I was like, I'm going to get rid of this property. This is where, right, you get caught up in situations that gets you in trouble. Instead of living in that house, I told myself that I was too good. I made too much money to live in that house. And then, oh yeah, yeah, I saw that you, Dr. Ninja Tartar, I saw that you bought your land too. I mean, like, that's honestly to me, that's the new emergency fund. That's the new building wealth in the future. That's how we're doing it. And so for my land now, I'm moving into my mobile home and I will show you guys the whole thing. I have a garden that has over 19 raised beds. I cannot keep chickens and animals right now because I try because of my full-time job, but you better believe I'm already preparing the place for my chickens, the place for my pigs, the place for my rabbits, so that if something was to happen to my full time job, or as soon as I'm ready to say goodbye to corporate, everything is ready to go, and I'm just stepping right into that. So I decided a few months ago that it made no sense for me as a single person to be living in a 2,000 plus square foot house when I can move into the smaller mobile home and then rent out the main house. So, right there, I am now, in a few weeks, I'm going to be living rent free and mortgage free. Let me get you the link to give me just a minute. I'll put it in the chat. I just started it a few days ago. Okay. I added the link to the chat. So I only have a couple of videos because I started this channel, I think, just about a week ago. But I already have a lot of videos lined up that show the journey from me going through this process of buying the land, renovating the land, renovating all of these properties. So I will be moving into this mobile home, and that would officially position me uh, as rent free and uh, rent and mortgage free. Yeah, You see, I have done a lot of house hacking, but I never got to the point where I was completely living rent free. This is the first time I'm going to be living rent free. But for all of my properties I will buy, I will move into them, I will fix them up, then I will move out and I will put a renter. This will be the first time that while I'm living here, the other part of the house is actually paying my mortgage. I'm really excited about that. Now, I am in a place of decision though. So I'm trying to decide if I should do a long term tenant or Airbnb it. I used to Airbnb this property. I made a modest enough income, but it came with a lot of like a little bit of time and headache. So I'm still honestly praying about it, trying to figure out what the best thing is going to be for me for 2026 because there are upsides to both case scenario, right? If I just get a full-time renter, consistent money coming in, I don't need to deal with anything, no headaches. But if I Airbnb, I don't have to worry about where all of my furniture is gonna be, where all my furniture is gonna go. No, I did you put your email here in the chat, Dr. Ninja Turtle? I didn't see it. Um, yeah, so then I don't have to worry about where all my furniture is gonna be, and my family can continue to use that property if we wanted to also. So that's the one little thing that I have to decide, right? Flexibility or no headache and a little bit of consistent income. But I think financially, it'll be the same. I don't think that like financially I'll be in the same place. It would just be a matter of how much work do I want to do on a regular basis, how much headaches do I want to have, etc. So that is the first kind of like the base layer of my emergency plan. The second part of that was that I am a licensed esthetician and massage therapist. While I was going to school, gosh, 15 years ago, I decided that I wanted to also go to trade school and get myself a trade, right? And really learn how to do something with my hands that so that I could get a job right away. That was actually around the 2008 recession. I saw a lot of people get bachelor's degrees, PhDs, and make no money. Okay. And that really forced me to rethink the concept of education and what type of education you really need to get a job. And I'm glad I made that sacrifice because today I'm a licensed esthetician and a licensed massage therapist. So if something was to happen with my full-time job, I could easily walk on over to a massage envy, a hand and stone, and make some money. Am I going to make the same amount of money that I make now as a business development executive? Probably not, but I won't go hungry, right? So we've eliminated the mortgage, we've added some skill set, trade, trade licenses, and this is something that I advocate for all the time. You need to be looking for opportunities to build up your skill set with something that won't be so replaceable with AI. This is why trades are so powerful, right? Because AI is not about to replace your electrician, at least not fully, right? AI is not about to replace your plumber. AI is not about to replace a massage therapist. Let's be fair, you will see less demand, but you will still see some money coming in, honey. So we need to be thinking about what are some skill sets that we can develop that are not easily Googleable, that are not easily AIable, right? Now, to be really fair, I use AI a lot when I want to trouble something for electrical in my house, but there's no way I'm going to rely on AI for a serious electrical issue. Okay. So that was part two of kind of like my emergency plan. But now to even build up further on that emergency plan, I also throughout the years, I have developed different types of skill sets. I used to Uber. I used to Uber. I used to deliver groceries. I used to resell clothes. So worst case scenario, something was to happen to my full time job, I'm putting that car to use. You know what I'm saying? I am getting in that car, driving to the DFW airport. You know what I'm saying? Or I can go to Walmart, start delivering groceries. Like, no skills is beneath me or beneath you when it comes to making money. But here's the thing: if you're not practicing them, if you're not actively trying these different things, you're going to have a hard time, because already, if you lose your job, you're already in shock. You're already struggling. You're already frustrated. Your mind is not thinking clearly. But if you've started these things now, when things are good, when you still have an income, when that time comes, you already have a plan. You you're gonna be sad for a few days, but then you're gonna get right to business. You know what I'm saying? And for me, 3 years ago, I started a reselling business to the point that I literally have a basement, like a whole basement in my house in Colorado that's almost 700 square feet that is full of inventory. I just need to drive on over there. I already have a box truck because I bought a box truck 2 years ago. Yes, I did. Y'all, I agree. Oh no, I am that's probably why I'm so exhausted, because I have been hustling and hustling. Y'all, when I'm telling you I have been hustling. Whew, but I feel it in every part of my bones right now, you know? So I have all of these clothes that I can resell, right? And sometimes I look at just all of the junk we have accumulated in storage in our garages in my house. I'm like, if I lose a job, I'll be on Facebook Marketplace every day selling something. $5, $2, $3. It adds up, right? So real estate, mortgage, check. Extra money coming in through a trade and a skill set, check. Extra money coming into the gig work, etc., check, right? So what you're seeing here are multiple different streams of income. And let's talk about something else that a lot of people are doing right now that, if you are not doing, I would seriously ask you to reconsider. Food. Many of us have taken for granted the fact that we can just go over to the grocery store and buy foods and buy foods at the grocery store. Y'all, the other day I was looking to buy, I think that I was trying to get some groceries, and one bell pepper, one, not the pack of multiple bell peppers, one bell pepper was 99 cents. One bell pepper. You can buy a whole packet of seeds for less than $1. Well, that was before the dollar store became the $1.75 store, but for less than $2, you can buy a whole pack of bell pepper seeds. Y'all, we have got to start learning to grow something. Some sort of foods, like learn how to grow something in your own backyard. Okay? Because not only there's no satisfaction like growing your own fruits and vegetables, but at the same time, I do think that for a lot of us, growing a vegetable garden, let me show you guys my vegetable garden and my little oasis here. Let's see. I want to share with you guys my garden so you can see it. By the way, this is my first time. Uh-huh. Yep, absolutely. I mean, the gig economy, y'all, has changed the game. The gig economy has absolutely changed the game. We used to, right? I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, Dr. Ninja Turtle, do you see that? Like my screen. So this right here is the land that I bought. It's divided into like it's 27 it's about 25 acres. And this part over here, section one, that is where the mobile home is, and that is going to be like my personal residence. Section two, that is where the main house is actually going to be. And this is what my land right now looks like. So there's a mobile home over here, and then my garden is back here. I'm gonna, I'm trying to change the layout. So this is what it looked like before, and I'm gonna show you guys the after. That's the wrong slide. I wanted to show you guys what my current vegetable garden looks like, and it will also show you where I started. Okay, here it is. I found it. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys. So I think I have found it. Bear with me, you guys. First time doing this. So here is my actual. So this is what my current vegetable garden looks like. This patch over here, do you see this little thing back here in the back with those container gardens? That is how I started. I went to Walmart and I bought these totes at Walmart, and I started putting vegetables there. And then slowly I built into this 19 raised bed garden that I have right now. And I will be showing you guys the progress of this garden in my vlogging channel. But yeah, so you need to just go ahead, start somewhere, go to Walmart, get a plastic container, get those 5 gallon buckets. Yo, I don't, it's all over the internet. So I am not here to teach or show you guys how to grow this, but I just want to say you can get started today to grow your own fruits and vegetables. There is no reason why we should, any of us should be paying 99 cents for a bell pepper. And what I also want to show you guys is I have, this is the orchard area. This whole area back here has all of my fruit trees. So this is like just different angles of the same thing. But right now, I have about 15 different fruit trees, and I'm about to add about 10 more. And I also have about, oh, I'm using Riverside. Oh, yeah, Dr. Ninja. So this is my first time. I've heard really good things about Riverside. I have a tools of the trade video that I'm probably gonna do here in a few months. I'm still testing it to see how it's gonna work out for me. But so far, I'm loving it. I'm still just figuring out how to use it. So, right. So you can see over here, this side, that's my orchard. I'm growing vegetables, I'm growing fruits, and you guys, if you're ever going to grow your own food, really focus on getting those fruit trees on the ground as quickly as possible. Make this part of your emergency fund or plan. Okay? So, moving on, let me see what else I can show you guys here. This is kind of like how I'm going to be organizing things here very soon. I don't have, oh, so these are just my chat GPT plans to build my like a deck and to build a storage area. Yo, I'm taking it one step at a time. And every single month, I add one project, I build on that project because y'all, within 2 to 3 years, I want to be done with corporate America. And this is what that looks like. So my backyard looks like this. This is where the mobile home is. This right here is where my garden bed is. That's where the greenhouse is. That's just like a sitting area. And on the left hand side, this is where the orchard is going to be. And right over here on the right hand corner, that's where I have bacon and eggs. When I bought this property, you guys, it was so overgrown that we didn't even realize all of the different things that were on this land. I bought this land with two homes, three other structures that can be converted into tiny homes, and then there were fruit trees. There was all this infrastructure to have animals already. So it's like God just blessed me with all of these different things. So this is another view of the full property. It came with a 1,200 square feet um like storage area. Like it's a metal building, 1,200 square feet, almost the size of the whole mobile home that I use for storage and for organization. So I'm showing you all of this because I had to smack myself over the head and be like, stop thinking that you're in a bad place because you don't have an emergency fund. You have all of these other blessings that you can incorporate into your emergency plan as you build that emergency fund. Okay, that was the lesson for me. So here is kind of like a high level overview of what that property looks like. As you can see here on the right hand side, that is where I am. I'm currently living here. This property here is almost like a little over 2,000 square feet. I have 4 bedrooms, two different garages. I don't need all this space for myself. So I'm moving over here to the mobile home so that I can make this my personal oasis and then find a way to monetize this whole area. And the property came with this structure over here. That is almost its own like 700 square foot little house. And this one over here is about 400 square feet. So it's just a matter of having money, but I could easily have two more little tiny houses. Like this could be a bedroom. I would like to build a deconstructed villa. Absolutely. That's the purpose of this whole video. I'm hoping I can inspire you guys to build an emergency plan as opposed to just an emergency fund. Because an emergency fund is good, right? It's a good start, but it's not comprehensive enough. So this property to me is not part of my emergency plan. My garden, you see all of this right here is showing you the plans of all of the nut trees that I've built on this land. That's part of my emergency plan because when you're talking about securing food for yourself, you need a combination of fats, carbs, and all of your vegetables, right? So you can grow potatoes, you can grow carrots, you can grow uh, like you can grow other starchy vegetables in your garden, but you're also going to need fats. And for somebody like me who may not necessarily who will not be starting with chickens and pigs, I also wanted to have various nut trees on my farm. To be really fair, y'all, Tai Nursery is where I bought these nut trees. Many of them died. Many of them died, but I'm ordering them from another nursery and I'll replant them. But now that I have a full time job, this is the best time for me to be experimenting. And as I buy each one of these trees, I'm also learning a different skill set. That is how to propagate fruit and nut trees so that I keep building all of these different things on my farm. Okay. So, anyhow, I think I'm about to end the little show and tell here. But that gives you kind of an idea of, right, how I am thinking about things here. So I'm building that comprehensive emergency plan. Real estate, not paying my mortgage is part of that plan. Skill sets, me being a licensed esthetician and massage therapist, that is part of my comprehensive plan. Develop, like, learning how to work in a gig economy, reselling, driving Uber, critical to part of that plan. Growing my own foods, right? That is critical part of that plan. And all of these, y'all, are different skill sets that I am developing. Because by growing my own fruits and vegetables, I'm significantly reducing my cost. By moving into the mobile home and monetizing, I'm also reducing my cost. So all of the sudden, when it comes time for me to finally build that emergency fund, which I will be doing in parallel with paying down debt, just because in this economy, I don't want to be without cash. In the past, I went all in paying off debt first. I ain't doing that. I'm not following the Dave Ramsey strategy. I'm going to be slowly paying down debt while also building an emergency cash cushion on the side. And this is important just because I don't know what's happening out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this economy is unsettling to me. So I want to take that approach. And what I'm going to be doing with my credit cards is that I'm going to be balancing paying off credit cards, but I'm also going to be playing credit card arbitrage. I don't know if that's the right word, honestly. I'm not sure if credit card arbitrage is the right word. But what I'm doing is I'm going to be paying off one card and then doing a balance transfer back into that card. Right? Does that make sense? So what this is going to allow me to do is to evade credit card interest fees as much as I possibly can. Now, I'm praying that with all of the ways that I'm reducing my expenses, I'll be able to pay off that credit card fast, even while building the emergency fund. But my mindset for 2026, you guys, is just changing. I'm thinking about things differently. I'm not focusing on speed. Let's do it. I'm not focusing on speed right now. I'm really focusing on, like, I've moved fast for the past decade in my life. And now I'm like, I don't want to give myself a headache. And I also want to enjoy life on this journey because I've accomplished a lot in the past 10 years, but it has been at the expense of me. And I don't want to do that anymore. So that is why my motto for 2026 is going to be slowing down. It's going to be abundance, right? I want to slow down because success doesn't always mean moving fast, right? You can be successful while moving through life slowly. And I'm also focused on abundance. Abundance is about believing, right? Abundance and faith, right? I am going to have all the great things that God and the universe has for me. I believe that right now, even as I speak, the universe is conspiring for me to win, for me to grow my wealth, for me to pay down my debt, for me to have more joy in my life. And I'm also moving with faith. No matter what you believe in, whether you believe in a God, whether you believe in Allah, in Jesus, in Buddha, in Hinduism, all of us have faith. That is one thing all of us, all of our great religions have in common: faith. Things that you may not see, but things that are happening on your behalf. That is what I'm doing and where I'm going in 2026. Slowing down, moving by faith, and believing in abundance. And I'm going to be making more videos about this coming up. But a lot of what I called ambition in the past 10 years was actually the scarcity mindset at work, right? I was scared about life. I was scared that I wasn't going to have enough money. Scared that this negative thing was going to happen because I didn't have faith that things were going to work out on my behalf. So I always moved through fear. And in 2026, I'm almost going through an emotional, spiritual transformation from a fear based mindset to a faith based mindset, from a scarcity based mindset to an abundance mindset. Because you guys, there's nothing more freeing than you taking a step back and saying, you know what? The universe, God, He got this. He got this for me. You know? So I am going to stop rushing. I'm going to stop reacting. And I'm going to stop performative success. And I'm going to just build slowly and quietly. It's interesting because even this channel, 2025, I was like, I'm going to post 100 videos to grow. I love sharing with you guys all the things that I'm going through. I love it. And this is why I'm starting a second channel, because I do think that it's important for people to see the mess behind the success, right? I love my educational I love my educational channel because I'm a big educator. I love to offer information and things that I'm learning, motivation, because in less than 10 years, I went from making $39,000 to making well above double six figures in my full-time job. And when you include all of my side hustles, almost 400K, right? I know how to win, and I love being able to translate and share how I have won with all of you guys. But far too often, we come on here and we show you the pretty face. We show you the makeup. We show you the nails well done. We show you the numbers of where we have succeeded. But we don't show how we're going through it. Because, honey, let me tell you something. True success is not in the destination, it's in that journey. So go into my vlog channel and you will be able to see that journey of how I have gone through that, of how I'm going through it at the moment, right? I will be able to I will be sharing with you guys how the sausage is made. But on this channel, I'm going to try to do more live conversations. So if you guys have questions, you can come and ask me questions. But I'm also doing a very different pivot. I am you guys know that I'm the founder of the Power Move Collective, which is pretty much an organization that helps to support women go from corporate powerhouses to having their own side business. And I always make it very clear, I don't think corporate is the enemy. Okay. I am, I just talked to you guys about my emergency plan so I can hedge against the vulnerability having one source of income puts us in. And I have a whole business dedicated to helping women get out of corporate America to build the exit strategy or the exit plan out of corporate. But I want to be very clear that in no way am I going to sit here and tell you to quit your job without a plan. No. I have a book that I wrote. Ah, okay, I'm making a mess. I'm making a mess. I'm making a mess. Ah. Dr. Ninja Turtle, you may not know about this, but I wrote this book. This is actually, I'm still in editing. I'm finalizing the edits. It's called Don't Quit, Leverage. How to leverage a full-time job for sustainable, lasting financial independence. Y'all, we need to talk. 2026 is the year of me leveraging. I'm going to go 10 toes deep into my corporate job, strengthen my skill set, strengthen my discipline, strengthen my habits. Because, y'all, I need to put the pedal to the metal on this one. I probably got that quote wrong. But I'm about 2 or 3 years away, y'all, from true financial freedom or being work optional. I really want to take a break because I'm exhausted. In the past, I was really putting a lot of my energy on my side hustles because I wanted to get out of corporate, but now I'm doing it the other way around. Here's the truth. Most of your side hustles will take time to build, will take time to develop. So do them on the side, slowly. Make them the background, not the priority. And I think this is kind of what I did wrong these past few years. I made my real estate, my side hustles, all of these different things a priority and not my full-time job. So, well, don't get me wrong. My full-time job has always been a priority. There was really no way around it. It took up most of my time. But I've always been somebody who is an overachiever. And in my full-time job, I became everybody else, right? I was just like, you know what? I'm going to clock in and do, yeah, I'm going to clock in and do what I need to do. But that's not me. And it brings me a lot of anxiety because I'm an overachiever. So, and I do feel like in this economy, in this time, as much as we may not like it, overachieving in our jobs for a little bit gives us the mental, the emotional, and the financial security we need while we're building all of these other things on the side. So, for the first time in the past 10 years, I am at such a good place in my life because of all of the infrastructures, all of the bricks that I've already laid, that I don't need to chase. I don't need to run. It's almost like if you're building a garden or if you're having a baby, you and the man, you did that thing, that baby's in your stomach. There is nothing you can do to make that baby come out before 9 months. Okay? You would just have to take the time to let that baby cook until 9 months. Same thing with the garden. I have laid the foundation. I have built the garden. I need to take a step back, and now I just need to be diligent. I just need to water the garden and then watch in a few years as the fruits of my labor come out and show up so that I can finally enjoy the harvest. So, with that, my plan for 2026 is to rethink, to reshape my brain from hustling and building to living, thriving in abundance. So, my YouTube channels, my side businesses, the infrastructure is already there. I'm just going to be slowly watering it. My garden, My real estate properties, I'm going to let time do the work. And I'm going to put my corporate job forefront, right? Not just giving it 100%, but giving it that 150 to 200%. Because 2 or 3 more years on this job could set me up to be free for the rest of my life. So, Dr. Ninja Turtle, thank you so much for joining me on this live, and all of you guys who are watching. I appreciate you guys so very much. And yeah, so this is my first live, and I'm looking forward to doing so many more of these. And yeah, so I want to hear from you guys though. What what are your goals for 2026? Okay. How are you changing the paradigm shift? What shifts are you making? Not just goals, right? Because I feel like all of us have goals. But what is that thing that when you look back at this video in 2020, in December 2026, what is that transformation that you want to have? Right? And what would that look like for the rest of the year? So, in my next live, I'm going to share a little bit of some of the goals that I have. Um, I am doing a series though. I think I'm doing a couple of series on this channel. I want to make sure that, um, because I think I'm going to be doing a corporate series on redefining success in 2026, right? This is going to be a post. Oh, sorry. Still learning. I'm still learning. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can maybe share my screen here. Yeah. So I'm doing this series in 2026. It's called Redefining Success, a post-burnout framework. And I'm going to be talking about 4 really important concepts or things that I'm learning and that I'm hoping we can learn together. The first thing I'm going to talk about in the first episode is going to be about the cost of moving fast and why speed quietly undermines success. This is really important, and it's kind of in keeping with what I was saying on my themes for 2026, right? Going fast doesn't always mean that you succeed, or going slow doesn't mean that progress is not going to happen. So I want to talk a little bit about that and kind of break the emotional, financial, and strategic cost of moving too quickly, and why speed is often mistaken for progress, especially by high performing women like you and I, or men. And the second episode is going to be about learning how to read success accurately. This is where slow and steady mindset becomes really important, right? Speed is challenged, we need to address comparisons, right? So this episode will reframe how success actually unfolds over time and why most overnight success stories actually distort reality. Okay. So we're always thinking that if only we could gain success very quickly, we will be better off. But no, moving too quickly causes unnecessary pressure, and honestly, it causes self doubt. The third part of this series is going to be about embracing. This is going to be really important, you guys. This is going to be really, really important, at least maybe for myself. Okay. We have got to learn to embrace being average. Okay. And I think that maybe I'm speaking as a black woman because I've had black excellence all over my life, right? We need to be better 10 times than everybody else. but it's not always good for our health, right? I want to dismantle perfectionism, right? And I want to explore how the pursuit of excellence often steals your momentum, while sometimes being average and having repeatable, consistent execution creates real leverage, confidence, and sustainability. Man, I'm really, really looking forward to this series, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy it because as we move into 2026, as we really solidify this mindset of building wealth, but building wealth in a way that doesn't burn us out or kill our soul, we need to start here. We need to redefine what success is, why we believe the things we believe about success. I shared a little bit about abundance and the scarcity mindset. I have a whole series on that, and we will leave the link to that series after this live is uploaded on YouTube. And then the last part of this series is another personal mind shift that I'm going through that I'm hoping you guys can come with me on this journey. We need to normalize thousandaires. I was watching a video before going live that was talking about how, like, in the 1980s, we only had like less than 20 billionaires, but today we have over 3,000 billionaires in the world. 1,000 of them just here in the US, one country, 1,000 billionaires. And in America, especially, we are conditioned. You see me getting passionate and excited because y'all, you know, I get a little too excited when I start talking educational content. But we get so emotionally drawn to millionaires. All of us want to become millionaires, right? But here is the problem with that. Millionaires starts with 100 heirs, 1,000 heirs. So I wanted to talk about the importance of scalability, stability over scale. This whole live, I talked about the importance of building an emergency plan as opposed to just an emergency fund. The reason why that is important, it's because a plan gives you stability, real stability. If all you have is an emergency fund, let's say you quit your job, but your expenses are $10,000 a month. How quickly do you deplete that $10,000 a month? You will. If you're not developing those extra skill sets to bring in more money, if you're not drastically reducing your expenses. And also, y'all, I am somebody who earns multiple six figures, but is still living paycheck to paycheck because I put scalability over stability. Right? I'm still at a good place, but I know people who have two sources of income, high net earners in their lives, like a doctor and a nurse. True story. Making well above $600,000, but are living paycheck to paycheck. Because sometimes it's not the scale that matters, it's the stability. Right? We really need to redefine financial success. You may not have millions, but if you have consistent 1,000s coming in every month from various sources, you might be in a better position than somebody who's making a million but doesn't know how to be a steward of those millions. Right? I really want to shift the focus away from millions towards livable, compounding income models that create peace, that create options, and that create freedom without burnout. And I just shared a little bit of my strategy at the beginning of this live. I am shifting my thinking, y'all. I'm moving away from, I want millions in the bank, to how do I build sustainability? My farm that I just shared with you is now a part of that emergency plan, a part of that stability, sustainability infrastructure. So I hope you guys join me on this series. I will be recording it here pretty soon, and I will be releasing it every single week for the month of January, because we are going to be talking about the importance of our emergency plan, and also the power in 2026, to the importance of redefining success. So, with that, I am going to close out this live. I thank you guys so much for joining me on my first live, and I am absolutely looking forward to doing more of these. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great Sunday and a very, very happy New Year. And you guys, let's make 2016 the best year, despite what I believe is going to probably be a challenging year, but we will make it the very best year. Thank you all so very much. And I will see you in the next live or the next video I'm going to upload. Thank you guys. Have a great one.